My name is Brett Siciliano. I'm the owner and inventor of the wrap wrench. The wrap wrench is a device that I invented that accurately and efficiently rolls up your fighting wraps for boxing and MMA. We used to take about 10 minutes to roll by hand. After you're done training, now it takes about 30 seconds to complete it. So the last thing you guys want to do when you're done training is sit around and roll these bad boys. We're talking about 30 feet of wraps you got to roll. So, then it's a little device called the wrap wrench. What you do is you insert the wrap inside the wrap wrench like so. You guide it with your hands, you pull the trigger, and you guide it while you're trying to catch your breath from your long, strenuous workout. Holding out all the kinks and all the imperfections in the wrap. Once you're done rolling it, you pull it off. Grab your other one. Like I said, again, catching your breath, and you guide it with your thumb. The thumb actually uses as a guide, and it takes all the kinks out of your wrap. Because when these wraps are sweaty, and when they come out of the wash, they have a lot of kinks in them, and they're a nightmare to roll. And it's almost impossible to get back exactly to reapply these things to what it looked like when you first bought the wraps. So basically, it took me about 15 seconds. I have 2 perfect wraps, and I'm ready to go. Thanks, and you can go to wraprange.com and get yourself one. Peace. How long have you been in the equestrian or the horse industry?
My whole entire life. So over 30 years. I'm a professional trainer, rider. You know, I've done it. I did a lot of training with halter babies, and I used to be a breeder with my stallion who's now passed away. So, I mean, I've done this my whole life.
Especially if you got 4 legs to wrap each time.
Right.
Wow.
You always, you know, when you're wrapping, you always want to make sure it's not too tight.
Right.
Especially, you know, always make sure it's not too tight. And what's really good, if it is too tight and you've wrapped your horse too tight or it's too loose, you can unwrap it, and with that wrench, you can zip it up, put it back in that roll so fast. You're not sitting here spending another 15 minutes rewrapping it. It's because you got to rewrap a leg. Like if this was way too tight, I would have to completely unwrap it again, roll it up, and start over.
Got it.
That wrench wrap is awesome because I could have it wrapped within, what, 30 seconds.
Right.
You know, and so we'll take this off and I'll show you on that with that that you allowed. So this is all, you know, let's wrap this off.
Wow, I thought ace bandages and MMA fighting bandages were bad.
Oh my gosh, and so I would have to rewrap. I would have to do this by hand, take this, roll it up, sit here. And if somebody is riding a long time and they have arthritis or whatever, this can, you know, this can be really tedious. And just have to rewrap it, and you got to make sure it's nice and smooth. So, I mean, you get the picture. So
yes,
now
exactly.
You know, it's a pain.
Okay.
And if you've got like 4 or 5 horses to ride like I do, I don't want to sit here and spend 10 minutes to wrap this.
And action. Okay.
Okay, so you just put on, you just got to guide it like you would anything else. And just make sure it's nice and, you know.
There it is.
Boom, it's done. And within what? 10 seconds.
Right.
And so here I am, I'm rewrapping them again. And if I didn't have that, I would be sitting here still wrapping it, maneuvering it, trying to get it straight so I'm not rewrapping something all funky, you know?
Got it. I mean, it's just self-explanatory. It does
really
the trick.
Is. And it does help. And I think it will help the individual trainer. I think it'll, thank you. I think it'll help, especially training barns too, when they have students and they have multiple horses and they want to take wraps off one horse and put it on another horse. I'm talking about the same owner.
Right.
You know, they have 2 or 3 horses, or you know, because some people do all world events and they do English Western, and you know, or maybe the training bar has collectively wraps that they use and everybody uses them, which is fine.
Is it fair to say that you could wrap your horse's legs? I mean,
Look at that.
5 times a day if you're going from one place to another or an event to an event? Or...
Yeah, absolutely you can. Absolutely. So that's nice. That's loose. That's going to give him that extra support. If anything bumps him, a barrel hits him or whatever, he's got that extra cushion here. Then I'll put his little bell boots on, and he's ready to go, and it's not too tight.
That's
and
awesome.
Look how long. It didn't take me hardly any time at all to unwrap and rewrap him, and now I just put a saddle on and he's ready to go.
Brenda, you've been so awesome. I really, really appreciate your time, and thank you.
It's my pleasure, absolutely. And I totally 100% support this, because not only do I do horses, but I'm also a nurse.
Yeah,
You know,
awesome.
and I'm expanding on my nurse to, to higher education, and I can definitely see using this in the medical field as well, because people that have continuous injuries, like they have to wrap and wrap and wrap, older people with arthritis at home. It's hard for them. For that little thing, one button, zip, it's done.
Perfect.
So good luck. Thank you for
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm John Grazer. I'm a second-generation Newport Beach plastic surgeon and fourth-generation California physician. And Brett has developed the wrap wrench here. And the wrap wrench is really nice because it makes it easy to roll your ACE wraps. And the main problem with medicine is compliance. If something's difficult, people aren't going to comply with it. And not only is this important to get outcomes, but it also has a health issue. So if you have lymphedema, problems with your legs, you really need to wear your ACE wraps. And this kind of has a personal note, because when I grew up, my dad had polio when he was younger. So our job as little kids was to have to roll the ACE bandages every day, because he wore them chronically. And this would have made it a whole lot more fun and a lot quicker for us to help my dad.
That's awesome. Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you see, basically in a nutshell, this simple product that I've invented being a benefit to the healthcare and medical community as a whole?
I think so. I think anything that you can do to help with medical compliance, to get people to use their product, use the treatment, is really going to facilitate the outcomes. So this will be nice for wound care centers where people have to chronically roll ACE wraps. It'll save time and cut down on the cost of healthcare delivery. And another thing is Brett's designed this so you can replace these and sterilize these tips if you need to use them in a sterile medical environment.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you, doctor. If I could, I'm going to get you to try out the wrap wrench with the 2 units I have, if you don't mind. So basically, it's self-explanatory. I'm going to let you do your thing. And
it's pretty easy to use. You just wrap this up here, and we can just roll this, and you just feather it so it's a nice even roll. And that's it. That's it. Ready for replacement.
So how long does that take to do by hand? I mean, if someone was to do that, if they have arthritis, it's kind of a pain in the butt, would you say? I mean,
Brett brings up an interesting point. This may, for younger folks, be more of just, fun to use. But somebody that's older is really going to have a difficult time rolling this, especially with arthritic fingers. So this is really an aid for the older people. This is this product. ACE wraps really. Who's got the lymphedema? Older people. People that have arthritis, so this is really going to be a benefit for those people.
Awesome. Do you mind trying out the other unit? This is our battery-powered unit, so it's a little bit more self-compact, and basically it's the same thing. You insert the ACE bandage, and you pull. Done. So, yep. Not rocket science, but it basically could help people and speed up their life a little bit.
No, it makes it simpler, or it makes it easier, more fun, and especially for the people that do have mobility problems and issues with their hands and fingers, this will really be a beneficial device.
I appreciate it, Doctor. Thank you so much for your time.
Not a problem. With the aging demographic, chronic wounds are a huge problem in the healthcare industry, up to $80 billion. And a lot of these older people have chronic venous stasis, lymphedema, ulcerations of the lower legs. And they need to have support. They need to wear ACE wraps. And for people that are older, it's difficult for them to be compliant because they have arthritic hands and they can't roll their ACE wraps. So Brett's product really helps to improve compliance. It makes it easier for people to use the product and treat themselves so they don't develop these long-standing chronic wounds.